Hey there, real quick before we begin, you're about to watch a live stream, which means you're really kind of behind the scenes here because these lessons are usually watched in the archives, but you're here for the live taping of them. So if we mess up really bad, we're probably going to chop that out, but you're going to get to see all of our bloopers and mistakes. We'll also chop this off, so no one is going to see this part of the lesson but you. And because you're behind the scenes, you're probably going to ignore my instructions when I say, like, pause the video and go practice or whatever. You can if you want. It's just that everyone in the chat room then will be in different places in the video. That's fine. When you want to join us live again, go down to the bottom of the video, click on the live button, and that should take you straight to where we actually are now. So now here comes the part for everybody else. I'm really glad you're with us. The archives are fine, but my favorite is talking to you live. So see you in the chat room. Welcome back to KidsLearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and as you can tell from the countdown clock here, the lesson is about to begin. If this is your first time playing piano, welcome. I'm very excited for you. You're going to do great. Hopefully you already received from us the welcome packet in the mail, and maybe you even got started on the Absolute Beginners video pack to teach you the names of the notes and things like that. But if not, that's fine. You'll do great. I'll show you how to play all the notes. And if I'm going too fast for you, you can always pause the video or rewind it and go over the more difficult parts. You can always pause the video or rewind it and go over the more difficult parts. And even if you only learn a little bit of this song and you don't learn the whole thing, you'll still learn enough to help you build skills so you can learn other songs faster in the future. So jump in, give it a try. You're bound to end up at least a little bit better than you even are right now. Throughout the lesson, I may refer to Clopple Academy, and you can check out that link on the website if you want. Basically, it's a program that takes you all the way from learning the names of the notes, the very beginning, through 12 levels of classical and jazz music, through all the skills that you would need to become a professional pianist. So you would learn all the same stuff that you would learn if you're taking regular traditional piano lessons, probably plus a little bit more, but it takes about 5 to 10 years to complete. So you can just try out the first level, see if it's the kind of thing that you like, or if you just care about today's lesson and learning this song, then just ignore all those references and focus on today's lesson. If you're watching this at LearnPianoLive.com, there should be a PDF and an MP3 button right next to this video. The MP3 is a play-along track that you can use to practice more after the lesson, but a lot of students like to print out the PDF right now so they have it during the lesson. Careful, it could be up to like 30 pages, so just find the couple pages that you want and print those out. If you decide not to, that's fine. I'll show you all of the notes on screen as we go through it. And we will be going through 5 different levels of this song that all use the same play-along track. So even if you've never played piano before, you'll still be able to do level 1. And then as we go through level 2, 3, 4, and 5, then when we use that same play-along track, you just keep playing your same version. If you're watching this lesson in the archives and you have a question during the lesson, then feel free to click on that survey button. And at the end of the survey, there's a place for you to ask your question, and I will do my best to get back to you with the answer to that question. But if you're with us live as we're recording this today, then feel free to click on that chat button, and you can talk with all the other students who are logged in during the live lesson. And if you have a question about the lesson, then you can just go ahead and type that into the box that says, Ask Jamin a Question, and we will do our best to answer that question live in the lesson. All right, I think that's the end of the boring stuff. I'm ready to learn a song. Stay tuned at the end of the lesson and I'll show you how to win more points and earn more prizes next week. But for right now, let's get this party started. Welcome back to KidsLearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and this is the incomparable Kendra.
Guess what? I spent my day today before coming here listening to these live streams from authors from this thing called Y'all West. I know that's a lot.
Y'all
Okay.
West.
Y'all West. Well, it's usually Y'all Fest, but they were gonna have one like on the West Coast, and then they didn't. It got
Yes.
canceled, and so they did a bunch of free live streams.
Because of the corona.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So it was
Also-
supposed to be Y'all West, like it was going to be at a place.
Right.
And now it's just on the
Yeah.
internet, like
Well,
everything is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and I wasn't able to go anyway, so to have it like just on my laptop was super cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And these are your favorite authors. Like, give me some
Yes.
names.
Jay Kristoff.
Of course.
Moderated one. There
Uh-huh.
was Victoria Aveyard.
Yeah.
She wrote the Red Queen series. Very good.
Veronica Mayfield.
Victoria Aveyard. Did
Yeah,
I say
sure.
Veronica?
That's what I said. I don't know.
Okay. And then I'm like blanking right now. Oh, there was Cami Garcia. She's awesome.
I've never heard of any of these
That's
people.
okay.
That's
They're
all
just
right.
my favorite authors.
Okay,
Fine.
yeah. Same thing happens when I name all my favorite jazz people. People are like, okay, sure, I
yeah,
trust that's a person.
totally.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well, today we've got a song that seems oddly appropriate
And
for our
thoughtful.
time. Oh, hey, buddy. Good to see you. All right. Okay, so today we're going to play the song Don't Worry About a Thing. If this is your first time ever playing a song with us, then this is like the perfect song for you because there's not a whole lot of notes. It does start out on a really weird set of 2 notes, but we can find those, and then the rest of the song should be actually a lot easier than most of the songs we've done. So very first thing we need is a G. So in order to find a G, you're going to take any group of 3 black notes, like those ones right there, or those ones right there. You can't go wrong unless you pick a group of 2. Don't pick a group of 2 black notes, so don't pick those. Pick any group of 3. Go ahead and play them right now, just one set of 3. And you're going to take the middle note in that group of 3, and you're just going to drag that note a little bit to the left until you land on a white note, and that one's going to be a G every single time. So you should be able to find a group of 3, take the middle note, drag it a little bit down to the left, and then you'll land on a G. And if you play that one twice in a row, and then move one note that direction, you'll land on an A, and that should be like a really great start to the song. That's a G and a G and an A. Because, so here's what happens. In music, we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and that just like goes straight through. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and after G, it starts back over. So it starts back at A again after G. So G and A seem like they'd be a long way away like they are in the alphabet, but on the piano, they're right next to each other because G is the last note before we start back over. So this G is right next to that A, and those are the 2 notes that you want to start the song with, and you want to make sure that you say those words as you go. You're gonna say don't when you play the first G, and then you're gonna say were, and when you play the second G, and then you're gonna say re when you play the A there. So you're gonna sing and play don't worry. Let's try that with the track. I'm gonna count 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna jump in with don't worry. Let's try it. 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3. Don't worry. That's it. And pretty much if we get these next couple notes, we're gonna be set for the whole thing. This was a G right here, so go back to that very first note. If we skip over a note, we'll land on an E, because the note in the middle would be an F. You don't have to remember the names of these letters. As long as you know what position they're in, as long as you can find the right one that makes the right sound, it doesn't matter what you call them. That one's a G. We're gonna skip down right there. As you can see, we've got E and G and E back and forth. So that's bout a thing. Bout a thing. So the first little phrase is don't worry. That's G, G, A. And then the next one also has a G in it, but it uses an E. Bout a thing. So those are kind of the 2 phrases that you're going to need. And then after that, it's just going to be all A's and G's. And you already know A's and G's because they're the first 2 notes that we played. So we're going to play all A's through the entire thing until the very last note. When we say the word right, we're going to play a G. Every little thing is going to be all right. Careful for that G. Don't let it trick you. When you're playing that A, don't get lazy and be like, oh yeah, it's a whole bunch of A's. I don't have to worry about anything. You gotta worry about the word right because we're gonna play that G or else it's not all right. So let's try that with the track. And at the end of it, we've got these double dots right here. Those double dots in music always mean, hey, it looks like a smiley face now. Aw, and he's got like a little haircut. Aw. And a little bit is sticking up because he hasn't had a haircut in a long time because of corona. So when we see those 2 dots right there, that means that you're supposed to repeat the whole thing. Actually, you're supposed to go back to the other double dots and repeat that. But these other double dots are right at the beginning. So when we see those double dots, it means go back to here and play from the beginning. Cool. So we're going to try the whole entire thing. If you don't get it this time, that means you're a perfectly normal human being, and you need to practice it this week. But we're going to try it all together, and then you can come back and either replay this video, or right now, if you're watching this in the archives, you can pause and practice so that you can get each of the notes down and then test yourself with this video when we all play it together. Play the notes that you can. Don't worry about the rest. Let's go. Starting on that G. And a 2. And a 1, 2, 3. Don't worry. And then the E's and the G's. About a thing. And then up to those A's. Every little thing is gonna be all right. Watch out for that G. And then we're gonna do the whole thing again, repeating it. Don't worry about a thing. A's. Every little thing's gonna be all right. That's it. That's the whole thing. So it pretty much uses those 3 notes right there. G and A with an E and a G. So practice. Okay. This will be our last time through. Hopefully you've got those 3 notes. I would recommend maybe like getting your left hand ready with the E and then grabbing these here with your right hand so you've got all 3 of them covered instead of trying to play it with just one finger. A lot of times it seems like it's going to be easier, but it actually ends up being harder. So make sure you're pausing and practicing wherever you need to, and then let's go with the track. Everybody just play the version that you've got. Hit the notes that you can. Don't worry about the rest. Get ready on that G. And a 1, 2, 3. Don't worry. Back to the E and the G. About a thing. Up to the A's. And every little thing is gonna be all right. Then we repeat. Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing's gonna be all right. That's the whole entire thing. Hopefully you've got at least a couple of those notes and you know how to practice this thing for next time. If either you're bored, well, that's no good because that means probably you just need to wait for these higher levels because it will get much, much more difficult. That's no good though. Or if you're like terribly confused, then let me know if like you can't get any of the notes. But most of the people should be right about here. Like, yeah, I know how to, my brain knows how to do it, but my fingers won't do it yet. If that's where you are, that's actually perfect. That means you know what to practice. But Kendra, tell us what we're going to do this week for our weekly activity.
Yeah, so this week is the bass clef dice, and you just cut out the dice and tape them together so you can test yourself on the bass clef. And tag Learn Piano Live when you post a picture on Facebook or Instagram for 150 bonus points from our mascot penguin Kloppel.
And that's an especially good one if you are working on getting into level 3. If you are used to level 2 stuff, but you're trying to get into level 3, then you want to start practicing that stuff because that'll help you know where those left-hand notes are. But right now, it's time for our feature of the day. And today we're going to play a game called Mary Joy, and you're going to try to beat Kendra at this game. Here's how it works. We've got 2 types of intervals. 2 types of intervals. That's the wrong camera that you've got that you're about to switch to. You got 2 types of intervals here. One of them is called a minor second, and one of them is called a major second. But don't worry about the names of them unless you're in Kloppel Academy. You don't care about that stuff. What you do care about is that one of them sounds like the beginning of Mary Had a Little Lamb. Sounds like this. Because you could imagine yourself singing, Mary had a little lamb. And the other one sounds like the beginning of Joy to the World. Joy to the world. So if the 2 notes that I play sound like the beginning of Mary Had a Little Lamb, that's a major second. But you need to know that it's Mary Had a Little Lamb. And if it sounds like the beginning of Joy to the World, that's called a minor second, but what you really care about is it sounds like the beginning of Joy to the World. And I'm not going to let you see the notes. So here we go. I'm going to play with you. Oh, go ahead and hit me with that. Okay, that is a CPU thing. Cool. All right. Now we know. And knowing is half the battle. So I'm going to play 2 notes for you. And you tell me if it sounds like Mary Had a Little Lamb or Joy to the World. So here's the first one. Does that sound like the beginning of Mary Had a Little Lamb or Joy to the World? One more time. What do you think, Kendra?
Mary had a little lamb?
Mary had a little lamb. It's fleece. Yeah, cool. So that was a major second. Okay, what about these ones right here? Which song does that sound like it is? And Kendra, what do you think?
Okay, so if we weren't doing Mary versus Joy, I would think minor first.
Yes.
Because it sounds very creepy
Sounds
down
like
there.
Jaws.
Yes.
Yes. It's just
So,
the opposite direction.
Joy to the world.
It's like an upside down Jaws.
Yes.
Okay. So yes, it's a really dark, scary version of Joy to the world. Yeah, okay, so that was Joy to the World. So that was a minor second. One more of these. This one right here sounds like what? And Kendra, what do you think that one is?
Well, normally I would think that was major, but it sounds like Joy to the World because it just sounds so happy.
And it is Joy to the
Like
World.
it's tricking me.
So the name of that interval is a minor second, which you bring up a really good point. Doesn't really have anything to do with major or minor scales or major or minor chords. This is a different thing, major or minor intervals. There's so many majors and minors in music. But anyway, that was Mary Joy, and now it's time for Mailbag.
If you'd like to win an extra 750 points by being the Mailbag winner, just fill out the survey at the end of the lesson or send us a message anytime during the week using the contact button at the top of the page.
And this week is from Izzy, who says, Dear Jamin, what is your favorite quarantine activity? Well, until recently, it was taking walks, but then we bought a gas fire pit because they were on sale, and we've been making s'mores every single night. And s'mores are the best thing in the world. Actually, burned marshmallows are the best thing in the universe. And so I think my new favorite quarantine activity is waiting until it's nighttime and then turning on the fire pit and roasting marshmallows in the backyard. That's the best. But second place is probably going to the park. And what did we play? Everything. We flew a kite. It was wonderful. I haven't flown a kite in forever. Flying a kite, roasting marshmallows, those have to be my two favorites. And next up, we have got a little bit of secret information.
Secret information.
And today, in our secret information box, we have our secret information folder, which says that today's song. This is okay. There's a lot of stuff in here in today's music profile. So the first thing is that this song is what's called reggae. And reggae is kind of unique in a couple different ways. One is the melodies are going to use lots of pentatonic scales. So this is not information that most people have, but let me show you real quickly if we can actually skip to the one that has the keys on it. The C pentatonic scale is just this one and this one and this one and this one and this one. So those notes right there, that's the C pentatonic scale, and most reggae songs are really going to emphasize those notes a whole lot, which is why this song uses exclusively these ones right here. So notes are usually taken out of the pentatonic scale. So in the key of C, that's C, D, E, G, and A. And so that's kind of the feel of reggae. The next thing on our music profile is that reggae emphasizes the ands a whole lot, especially if you listen to the band. In fact, let's listen to the band, and I'm just going to count along. I'm going to count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and listen to the band and how much usually they would emphasize 1 really hard, or they would emphasize 3 really hard. But this one is going to emphasize almost entirely just the ands. Let's check it out. So here's the track. It goes 1 and a 2 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and so almost the entire band is playing just on the ands, and that's what really makes the feel of reggae. The melody uses the pentatonic scale almost exclusively, but then you listen to the band, and if they're only playing on the ands, it's going to sound like reggae every single time. So that's a little bit of information that not everybody has, but you do. And maybe you also have the winning raffle this week. congratulations. Let us know what prize it is that you want, and let's go to level 2.
Transitioning to level 2. This may be confusing to level 1 students, so please continue to practice the level 1 version, or visit learnpianolive.com/level 2 for a detailed explanation on how to level up.
So sadly, the lesson preview has come to an end, and it's time to say goodbye to everyone watching the free streams. Of course, paying subscribers at learnpianolive.com can continue watching this lesson and several hundred others like it in the archives. So come on over and check us out, and if you like what you saw, at least like and subscribe, and then tell your friends to head on over to learnpianolive.com to start enjoying this journey with us.